The fire in the small stove was the only sound competing with the wind. Ji-woo watched the steam rise from Jun's mug, a silent question forming in the air between them. Jun leaned forward, the shadows defining the strong line of his jaw. "I was chasing a feeling," Jun finally said, his voice rougher than the storm's low growl. "The end of the map. Turns out, there's always another bend in the road, another horizon line, and I'm still standing here." He gestured to the window where rain streaked the glass. Ji-woo understood that kind of searching. He thought of the lantern, burning its lonely vigil hundreds of feet above them. "This light," Ji-woo said, lifting his mug. "It's been retired for 20 years. Technology passed it by, but I keep it on." Jun met his gaze, unflinching. "A hope or a burden?" He set his mug down with a deliberate clink. "What is it you whisper into the glass every night, Ji-woo? What is the thing you won't tell anyone?" Ji-woo felt the air leave his lungs. He walked to the window, placing a hand against the cool glass. "A whisper," he repeated, his voice barely audible. "It's about needing a witness, someone to see the storm, but also the calm that comes after." He turned back, the manliness in his posture softening to a raw honesty. "My wish is that the light will matter again, that someone will need it, that someone lost will finally choose this place to stop." He looked directly at Jun. "My wish was for you." Jun stood up, closing the small distance between them. "A traveler seeks an end to the road. You kept a beacon lit for a harbor that was already closed." He reached out, his hand hovering near Ji-woo's shoulder. "I wasn't looking for a light, Ji-woo. I was looking for a reason to stop moving." The hover became a touch, firm, warm, anchoring. Ji-woo covered Jun's hand with his own, grounding the years of solitary hope in this single moment of reality. The wind hammered the tower, but the noise faded against the sudden, massive quiet between them. Dawn found them still in the common room, the stove gone cold. The storm had broken. A single, sharp beam of sunlight cut through the window and found the dust motes dancing in the air. The sea was still rough, but the sky was a clear, vast blue above the horizon. Jun stood at the base of the winding stairs, ready to face the day's journey, but not alone. "That light," he said, nodding up towards the lantern. "Maybe it's not for guiding ships anymore. Maybe it's just for the two of us, to keep the dark out of this one room." Ji-woo smiled. "A genuine, powerful thing. Maybe it is." "Just a day," Jun had stated, the word hanging heavy in the bright morning air. His hands, the ones that mapped continents, now busied themselves with the rusted winch in the lantern room. Ji-woo only nodded, his own quiet hope taking the shape of a simple, shared purpose. Days did not pass. They simply folded into one another. The metallic scent of oil and honest effort replaced the lonely smell of cold glass. Ji-woo found himself laughing, a deep, easy sound, over a shared, badly cooked meal. The warmth he'd wished for was no longer a beam of light, but the steady heat from Jun's shoulder as they leaned over the task. It was the small things. Jun's quiet instruction on how to properly set a gear. His calloused palm grazing Ji-woo's wrist while reaching for a tool. It was the rhythm of two strong men existing in the same small space, their needs aligning without discussion. The wish Ji-woo had whispered to the wind was here, in the silence of shared work. Ji-woo had kept a light on for lost ships. Now he felt the anchor set deep within him. This was the kind of love that didn't need the dark to be seen. It was simply a constant, bright reality. It was a shelter found, not built. One evening, after the work was done, Jun simply looked at him. No grand statement, just an honest, unflinching gaze that acknowledged every lonely year Ji-woo had kept the flame, and every restless mile Jun had traveled away from this exact spot. The old wick was running low. The flame, once a beacon of desperate hope, dwindled to a blue, tired sigh. Ji-woo and Jun watched it together, their bodies pressed close in the sudden chill of the high room. It sputtered, drew in its last breath, and was gone. The great lens was dark. The light that had drawn Jun here was gone, but the traveler remained. Neither man moved to relight it. The light wasn't needed anymore. No more high watches? Jun murmured, not looking at Ji-woo but reaching for his hand. He laced their fingers together. The strength in their joined hands was a truer light than the one the tower had held. The path down the cliff was steep and rough, but they walked it together, side by side. They left the stone tower, the keeper's lonely vigil, and the traveler's weary road behind them. They walked into the new sun. Below, the sea shimmered, vast and open, no longer a challenge but a view. The world felt quietly new. It was a peace earned through honesty, not a miracle found at the end of a map. Some wishes don't need magic, just the courage to be seen.